We are taught to view global conflict as a cold, rational game of chess, a struggle between nations for borders, natural resources, and trade routes. This chart shows the explosive growth of the United States national debt, now surpassing $38 trillion. With national debt exceeding 125% of GDP, the mathematical reality signals a severe structural fracturing of American imperial power. At the same time, nations across the global south are forming new alliances. The BRICS nations have begun accepting the yuan for oil trades, actively dismantling the petrodollar system that has anchored the global economy for decades. But if we listen to the figures steering these nations, they aren't just shifted toward the language of holy war and final judgments. Standard economic theory no longer explains these states. Theology has occupied the space where policy used to live, turning regional disputes into existential crusades. Classical historians like Oswald Spengler observed that civilizations function like biological organisms. They follow a predictable life cycle of birth, growth, and a terminal winter where the original culture freezes into a hollow, material civilization. This diagram illustrates elite overproduction. As an empire declines, power seekers at the top expand, while positions remain fixed, paralyzing society. To prevent internal pressure from shattering the state, a dying empire redirects its volatile energy outward, manufacturing external conflict as a pressure valve. Current geopolitical models and petrodollar data converge on a specific inflection point. With the US dollar share of global reserves projected to hit a critical floor and internal elite competition reaching peak volatility, these structural forces point to a window of total crisis, centering on 2026. While structural analysis reveals the timing of this imperial collapse, only religious prophecy explains the precise targets chosen to ignite the fall. If global conflict is a game, victory is determined by three variables: mass, energy, and coordination. Coordination is the ultimate multiplier. It makes millions of people move as a single organism. In a decentralized world, this synchronization requires a universal script. End times narratives, or eschatology, function as the ultimate coordination software. These stories provide a detailed scenario where every individual knows their role, allowing disparate groups to work toward a single geopolitical goal across centuries. This software is now a driver of state policy. We see political leaders meeting with religious authorities to discuss the acceleration of prophetic timelines, integrating ancient stories directly into modern military planning. By weaponizing these prophecies, separate elite factions synchronize their political and military actions. They don't need secret meetings. They are all simply fulfilling the requirements of the same invisible script. This strategy of intentional chaos has roots in the Sabbatean-Frankist doctrine of justification by sin. This philosophy argues that to bring about a new order, one must first dismantle the laws and morality of the old world. This doctrine of accelerated destruction transitioned from an occult sect into a practical strategy for modern power structures. It provides a theological excuse for the systemic demolition of the current global order. Every end-time script converges on a single geographic ordinate, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. This is the physical theater where the competing stories of the world's most powerful factions meet. Look at how these factions overlap. Radical Zionists, American evangelicals, Orthodox Russians, and esoteric societies all hold unique theological views, yet they all demand the same physical event, a catastrophic war in the Levant, to trigger their respective prophecies. The escalation in the Middle East is the physical manifestation of this convergence. It is a manufactured apocalypse designed to fulfill the requirements of the script. The highest levels of the power structure view this apocalyptic conflict as a catalyst for a planned technological transition. We are witnessing the end of the alchemy of money. The fiat system, which controlled populations through debt for a century, has reached its terminal limit. It can no longer sustain the weight of the global economy. A replacement system is already being deployed: techno-Marxism. This alchemy of AI replaces financial debt with algorithmic surveillance, managing human behavior through absolute data mastery. This control architecture is built by the same tech monopolies that serve as the backbone for global intelligence. These systems are designed to track every human interaction and predict every behavior. The apocalyptic theater in the Middle East functions as a global smokescreen. It occupies the public consciousness, while the permanent architecture of the AI surveillance state is being quietly installed. This drive for total order is rooted in the esoteric concept of creating order out of chaos. It is a desire to reshape the world into a more perfect, more controllable form. Esotericists call this the perfect ashlar, the transformation of raw, subjective humanity into a perfectly planned, mathematically managed system. Modern AI pioneers have become the new priests of this vision. They describe artificial intelligence as an infallible, supreme entity meant to direct the future of the human race. This mathematical engineering signals the end of human autonomy. It establishes a holy empire of reason, programming human behavior into a predictable digital architecture.